What's up, wadau na wadaudet? It's your duo again, Baby Vlogs. In case you're new to this channel, please do remember to subscribe. And if you are one of our returning subscribers, please hit on that notification icon so that you can be updated for Kikisi Nayo updated for more videos. So today's setup is totally different. We are normally two, but we are having a guest here. Wakurugenzi na wadaudet. Introducing your one and only Mr. Edwin.
Edwin Marube, Nyajwase, will be here with you today.
Yes.
Karibuni. So guys, today we have a very hot topic with our guest here. And nawaomba just get your seats, mkae ready, msikize and relax and enjoy the topic. So like if you actually look back, the generation ya kitambo, people were more, walikuwa more put together, like watu walikuwa tu sawa, even in relationships. People knew, like ni kama walikuwa na, they knew the way. But this current generation, man, yani like there are no meaningful relationships. So that is what we're going to talk about today. Guys, welcome.
So yani, what we are saying here is that many of us here could have observed that many of us actually going even into our 30s,
Exactly.
not being in meaningful relationships. And even, you know, we are elements than compounds, you know, for those who did chemistry. Sindio?
Wale
walianguka, usijali. Those are basic terminologies, sindio? Yeah, una revision. But also, I think it's also equally important to revise the notes of social intelligence. Like, why is it that you find that many of us, this is a situation which you are in? Well, I think actually one of the major things, Sonia, I think we have spoken this before. I think people are so idealistic than realistic.
Yeah. Could you care to explain what's idealistic and realistic? I mean, we use these words, but
hatuzitambui vizuri.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, let's make rapport with the definitions of those words.
Your rapport hata sasa pia.
Okay, rapport ni like coming together.
Yeah, coming together and
something.
we talk about
something
it.
Like that. So idealistically, we have very fanciful ideas of what relationships will be like.
Exactly.
Such that we do not embrace the reality on the ground. Vile vitu zinakuanga different, ndio. So unapata, or you find that is why, you know, we ought to be really careful against creating imaginations and living in a world of imagination. Because in the ancient times, in our parents' times, they didn't have even social media to give them an idea, or to give them, you know, like those, you know, these youth squeezy, they get this what they call butterflies when they see their friends getting married on social media.
I've never gotten a butterfly because I've never experienced. I don't know even what is the feeling of having a butterfly.
You just see someone and you're like, oh my god,
your heart just jumps out.
Yeah, but now in this context, it's where, let's say, if your friends get married and the pictures that they put on social media and those kind of things, then you feel you start now putting your own, let's say, like this is the standard which I should have.
Yeah.
This I usually tell people, like, one of the secret to contentment in life is learning to derive your sense of value, not competitively nor comparatively, but componentally.
Exactly.
Now, what can you explain here?
At least nimeelewa for the first time.
Apparently, let me explain it. Pun intended. Yeah. So componentally, component was the last word. Comparatively, competitively. That's not the way we should derive a sense of value. Why? Let's say we should not be competing and comparing ourselves with others. Because kila mtu ana script yake kwa maisha. Everyone has their script, isn't it? But componently, where you have your own script, you have to understand yourself. Why am I in this road? And why are things working out for me at this time in this way? That will really require faith, and that's easier said than done.
I think pia the point of idealistic, kuna hizi, so tulikuwa tunaona za kitambo. You just see maybe people in college, they're just walking, a girl is walking on the road, and then a guy comes, anamgonga kitabu inaanguka chini, and then they're like wanabeba hivi wanaangaliana. You know, that is what people are expecting nowadays.
They emotionalize something,
you know?
They emotionalize and sentimentalize something that's actually ruled better by principle.
Yeah.
Than emotions.
But then again, we also see, like, kuna vitu zenye pia just like we say we have fanciful imaginations.
Yeah.
Vile amesema like venye soaps zinatuonesha ati that's how we are going to meet. You know, up to now there are those people who still believe that's how we are going to meet
someone on the way.
And by the way, it's very funny. Nowadays people meet in very funny occasions. And there's this notion that if you meet a girl in a bar ama in a very weird place, actually that's not a wife material. Who said so?
Well, I believe every lady is a wife material, but depends on which type of woman.
Yeah, by the way.
Which type of woman, you know. That is, there's a reason why people created CDO.
Yeah.
But what about these soap operas and these reality TV shows? You know, I think, let me play with words, kidogo. You watch these soap operas, then love slips out of your grasp. Jarada.
Wadau.
Ini sabuni, si ndio? Ukishika sabuni ina slip kwa mkono. So of course you watch soap operas until true love actually slips out of your grasp.
Yeah, because you still get that imagination of the soap operas. And then a real man comes to you, but unexpect afanye exactly.
And then relations become a slippery thing.
Yeah, so inaenda like you're like, no, this man didn't do this, ama this chick has not done ABCD.
Yes.
Venye nilikuwa nimeona. And I think when we watch most of these things, ama you read the books, ama you see social media, they actually get engraved into our minds until now it becomes like part the reality. But it's actually not the reality. Inakuwa ni kama ni hiyo ndio reality, but if you look carefully, that is not the reality.
And this goes
actually, that's why you find most of us, you know, most people who actually watch, you know, TV reality shows, their relationships tend to have more show than reality.
And then
the relationships have more show than reality. Unapata watu wameboeka tu siku nzima, alafu hiyo moment kidogo hiyo wako nayo kujibamba selfie.
Yeah, selfie videos.
You want to show people how, you know, happy you are.
Routine, there's this video that I was watching on YouTube. I think those couples were, you know, YouTubers, there's this thing they call morning routine, evening routine. So couples show, or rather one individual shows their morning routine, like what they do the whole day. So I love this couple because they were like, don't kiss me before brushing your teeth because it's gross. But you see the normal couple morning couple routine, they normally kiss and it's like, oh, morning baby. And then that couple was like, you're gross, you're smelling, go brush your teeth first before. You know, but they made it like so true. Because that's what happens.
They are not doing the reality part of life. Yeah, we are just running away from the reality and believing in what is fantasy.
Plastic mindsets create plastic relationships.
I think basi that is the main, guys. Hata ukiangalia vizuri our relationships, like we are expecting more than what is actually there.
And comparison.
Yeah. So when you go into a relationship, una expect maybe kwanza kuna hii squeezy, okay, everyone kila mtu anapenda pesa, but kila mtu anaingia in a relationship akijua we are all minded here. Unaona, if this guy does not have money, ama if this chick, because it turn out it's the same squeezy both genders.
It's like
even
investment.
Men, they're like, me hapana, I have to look for a chick mwenye akona pesa, mwenye akona gari, mwenye akona nini. So when you find that ukishaingia, unajua kuna zile za uongo za kwanza utapelekwa sijui wapi. When now the reality clicks in, ndio unaamka unasema what, I no longer want this person.
That is why I advise people, don't do things in the beginning that you know you can't maintain.
Yeah, but you know,
you can't sustain and maintain. Okay, once in a while, but nearly to impress someone, you have to go an extra mile, you know, and you know you just have one pair of shoes. Subaru. and you know you travel through Volkswagens and Mitsubishis, and then you go borrow a vehicle. You go borrow a vehicle to try and impress a lady.
Yeah, I think we covered this thing of impressing people in there's this video that we did. It's not reality versus expectation. The one that we were sitting in a car.
I don't know.
Ever done crazy
things
when dating? Yeah, those are the crazy things that people do. You only have Futsubishi, yani the food, you are walking, but you go an extra mile of borrowing a car from your friend. And remember, that's the first date. Remember, and by the way, what you show us as ladies or as men, it's what we're going to take. You came with a Subaru. I will think you have Subaru. I'll think you have little money because
people cannot read your heart, they can read your actions.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, so if you come with that car and then next time you come with the Futsubishi, I'll be like, why did you take your Subaru?
In fact, I ever saw a meme, you know, where this lady alikuwa ana point to the cat, you know, the cat is seated like, I think you guys have seen that meme, this lady was like being held by her friend. You told me you sell cars, and the cat replies, you know, yeah, I told you I sell my car. Like,
Oh, Maka.
Yeah,
Oh
there's
my
this.
God.
Yeah, that's
But
coming
I
for the
think
country.
it's
Yeah.
gone too far.
It was quite
Hata
amusing. Anyway, proceed.
Yeah, hata siku hizi I think it's become overboard. Hata msee anakwambia si ukuje kwangu anakuinvite. Imagine they take you to a friend's house.
Yeah, not their house.
Their house, unaona, like hata madem hata akitolewa sijui wapi, wacha nikuzindikishe, anasema sawa, anaenda kwa apartment ya beshte yake. So what clicks in the mind of this other person? Anajua mali unaishi ni hapa. But what is the reality?
The reality kwa ground vitu ni different.
Either unaishi kwa mzazi ama unaishi sijui kwa ghetto mali utaki watu wajue. Si eti ghetto ni mbaya, but unaona ile class yenye tunataka kujiweka kwa society inatuharibu.
Actually, let me say this. I've heard some people say that I don't need to hustle with someone to prove that I love them or to prove my loyalty to them. But one thing I believe personally is Kenyan English. Something I believe me personally, that's called redundancy. Something I believe in is that if there's something true at rock bottom, hold fast to that thing, because that will become rock foundation. Yeah. If you find someone who is actually a great potential but they are not somewhere in life where they ought to be, but they are moving, they are showing some signs of progress. I believe
signs of progress.
Yeah.
I believe that's good. Now, progress does not only mean financially. It also means morally. It also means intellectually. It also means a lot of things. And actually,
even the zeal to do something,
This will industry, energy, exactly. All these things. Now, here's something actually I came to realize. There's something you've spoken about here. Money is quite a big issue in relationships today. Now, and yeah, I can agree with you. Many people today are like Judas. We value money and have a value on people. We value things and have a value on people, instead of having a value on things and valuing people.
Yeah.
So therefore we do not, we should prize people, not price them. Judas priced Jesus. Yeah, you see. So I believe that's why actually you find many people betray one another because of money today. Here's something I came to learn. There's something which we need to understand as humanity. The way me observe and reflect, and these are my ponderings about humanity, is this. We were created in such a way that our highest need is the need to worship, whether or not we know it. The need to connect with something or someone higher than us. That is why people now direct this need in them into various things. Others will go into things like nationalism. Others will go into, others will look for money. Others will pursue wealth with all their heart.
Power.
And still, when you get those things, you just find still that they cannot satisfy you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm summarizing a lot of things here. I'm summarizing a long speech here. And then you realize that in the end, these things do not satisfy. So what happens is, there's that need for worship, which people don't realize that they have. Then after that, God created us in that way. And it's a good thing in itself. The next thing is to connect with people intimately and closely, especially someone of the opposite gender, in an intimate way. That is why God now gave the provision of marriage. Yeah, that's why he did that. Now the trouble comes here. The trouble comes here. When you've not sorted out the first one, it will affect your second one.
Which was the first one?
The first one is the need to connect with God.
Connect with
If
God.
it's not sorted out very well, it will really affect your second one.
Oh, guys, Miskia, did you hear that? Now, if
What's any balance? What's any balance
what
of
about
homeostasis?
for those who?
Let me balance my homeostatic environment first.
What about for those of our viewers
Homostatic environment.
who are not religious? How would you advise them? Because not
Yeah.
everyone is religious to that point.
Well, it's not even a matter of being religious. Whether or not even atheists are spiritual without them knowing it. I just say, connect. Okay, for me, I'll say what works for me. Connecting with Jesus every day really works for me. Yeah.
That's really impressive. It's inspiring and it's impressive.
Informative, inspiring.
Yeah.
So now that if we now, this generation, if we found a way to connect with God first, because he's ndiye ako huko juu, then
everything falls into place.
every other thing will fall into place.
Yeah.
Wow. So that means then most of us, actually, like maybe a higher percentage of us this generation, we've fallen out.
Yeah,
We've fallen out of the connection with God.
Yeah, and you see the broken relations that we have are not like God has directly cast us. They're just a consequence of our choices of breaking up. They're just a consequence.
Actually, there's
that is why you find many people are in what I like to call codependent relationships. What I mean by codependent relationship where one side is the giver, the other one is just the taker,
the receiver.
You see, this other person who is the giver is a codependent person. The other one is just the receiver. It just characterizes how unhealthy people can become, because I believe relationships just two healthy people to come together emotionally, socially, spiritually, psychologically, in every sphere. You are healthy enough, you have at least a balanced mind to be in a relationship with someone, because trust you me, living with someone for the rest of your life ain't no joke. Let me tell you something, it ain't no joke now, see?
Yeah, ain't no joke, people. Yeah, because you imagine you're living, and then by the way, something funny that I've realized. I've not been in marriage, and well, I'm hoping to be in one. People who are married, if you talk to them, by the way, they tell you, hey, this man of mine or this woman of mine, there's some things I have never known till date. Like, marriage or staying with someone is like a continuous learning process. Yeah, it's the only school that you've been given a certificate before graduating, and you will never graduate till you die.
Yeah, and I think now that is where the choice comes in, because from the Bible, you read the Bible, God actually ametupea the power to make your own choices. No, He has not limited you. By the way, you Edwin, when you're born, I want you to take this glass, utembee hivyo. He gives you everything. And when you're born, ukianza to grow up, when someone grows up, they have the power to know the right and the wrong.
You just have to follow the right way.
Yeah, you have both on the table. Na Mungu amekupea power ya kujua, by the way. And even in dating, when you're dating someone, hata ukijivaluate vizuri, when you've started, kuna ile inner voice inakwambia, by the way, something is not right.
Intuition.
The
intuition.
That is the power of God. The power God has given you to know. But not just because we are human beings, pia tunataka kufanya kitu kwa society.
And we want relationships.
Tunataka kujifurahisha, and we want relationships. Unapuuza, unasema, ai, sawa, hii ni kitu bure. Ama this person will change. Ama this thing, we will work it out.
Let me say this.
So,
whatever people change, no, people don't change. Just reveal who they are. Okay, here's something about the older we grow. This is what happens. The actions that mature with our maturity are just the trees of the seeds that we planted in childhood and in youth.
Oh, so they never.
Yeah. That's how it happens.
Okay.
So people don't really change; they just reveal what they invested. The investment just comes with
But as human beings, we tend to think that someone is going to change.
Yeah.
You see,
we
simply because we really want to be in this relationship.
Yeah.
We really want to do this.
And maybe we've really invested.
Optimistic naivety can be a source of many damages.
Yeah. So that is why now.
No, it's not.
But that is why hakuna hizo venye tumesema, like stable.
Yeah, meaningful ones, because people are in relationship. Maybe they've invested emotionally and they want to stay there. Some have invested financially and they just want to stay there.
One of the reasons why people stick in relationships which are hurtful is whatever just sticks them there is just a sense of security that relationship tend to bring.
Yeah, by the way.
Let me put it this way. You find, let's say, a lady is in an abusive relationship with a guy. Okay, that can happen also the vice versa, but mostly you find the lady is in an abusive relationship with a guy. This is what happens. She is not secure by staying with herself such that she can reach the point where she will be okay being in an abusive relationship and stay by herself.
Exactly.
There's something which I came to learn about life is that it is very strong. It is a very strong. I don't know what should I call it. There's a very strong drive in women the older they grow actually to be in relationships, more than guys. That is why I say, please, if you're especially in your early 20s, please make the right choices right now at that time. The 20s actually, from 19 to 30, the 20s, it's a very transitional decade for many of us. I believe many of you who are listening at 20s.
What happens for those who are going beyond 20s?
For wherever us we are all exiting. We are now going to third floor, isn't it?
Now third floor, yeah.
Now I think it's a time which you can also redeem the past. It's a time. Don't wait, okay? Because something about your mind is this. Your mind there's something in science. It's called neuroplasticity. How flexible your mind is in adapting to changes and learning new things. The very fact that we learn everything new, it's something new every day, is proof that neuroplasticity is quite. Where in your early 20s, okay, generally the younger you are, this goes true with especially the younger you are. Up until the age of 18, 19, your mind has some experiences which stick long. Yeah, which stick like almost, the mind, what you struggle with right now is things that you struggle, which you indulged in before that time, during those formative years. Yeah, if let's say you find someone, let's say, began, with alcoholism at that time, they fall into that for the rest of their lives. Generally, that's how it happens. So the 20s is a very transitional stage. The 20s now where you have to make the sternest decisions in your life. What to do as a career, who to marry, where to live, all these kind of things, okay? And in the 20s, generally, most of us are broke. we have very creative minds,
but we don't have the
high
capital
energy
and
levels,
everything.
but we don't have capital.
Exactly.
And all these things. That's why I came to realize that, and God really helps us in our 20s. But just make the right decisions, okay? The right decisions may be painful for now, but trust me, they give a good reward, a good reward in harvest later. That is easier said than done. Let me give you inspiration that can help you there. This is why you need to have what you call a vision. What a vision is. A vision is, simply put, it is where you want to be in the next future. In terms of that. But there's something about a vision. A vision should occupy not only your mind but also your emotions. Yes.
Yeah. So
that is because we are made in such a way that must be something that occupies our emotion. There must be. If it's not something good, it will be something wrong. So that vision, which takes space in your affections, will help you carry the cross of where you're passing through right now. Hello, you gotta have a vision. One of the reasons that people actually really struggle with reaching somewhere in life is because they had no vision. Or the vision was only intellectual but not also emotional. It only informed them but not also inspired them. Yeah.
So now that we've spoken about why most people who are going to the third floor, if you say third floor, that's 30, they are not in meaningful relationships. They are, instead of them like building solid relationships, they are even going further and further. What can we tell them now that
Yes, something I can tell them. Or tell us. This to all of us.
Tell us, by the way, we are there.
Introspection is quite good.
What's introspection?
Introspection ni kujiangalia pia.
Okay.
Yeah. There is introspection and retrospection. Retrospection kuangalia into history, like nini kufanyika in the past. Introspection ni kujiangalia ndani. For prospection, si ndio kuangalia into the future.
Amen.
Anyway, kitu ni hivi wakurugenzi, this is how it goes. First of all, number one, I believe all of us have a history, okay? But that history should not judge and determine our future. Although it can greatly influence. So please, number one, take accountability. I always drive this point home. Accountability. It's actually tiresome to see grown-ups going into their 30s blaming the whole world for how miserable their life is. Take accountability, because if you are attracting wrong relationships, there's something wrong with you.
Wow.
You know why? Okay, there's something wrong with you in one or another. It could be actually, let me call it, let me say, if someone is codependent, for example, it simply means you give too much unwisely. So you need to learn how to temper that, to balance that. Exactly. You need to know also how to put your own, by saying, a relationship takes two people. It's not about one party receiving and another giving. No, it's symbiotic. It's symbiotic. Let me use the word symbiotic.
Depending on each other.
So take accountability. Ask yourself, what can I do to improve? What I allow into my life. Because trust you me, you get in life not what you want, but what you are and what you allow.
True. You attract what
who you are.
You go for who you like, but you attract who you are like to some extent. But you also attract a person who just drives home the philosophy that you allow or you think about yourself. If you think yourself low, bad, poor thoughts, which is actually not a sign of humility. You think wrong, poor, degrading thoughts about yourself, you'll get people around you who will now drive that home properly.
Wow.
That's very
that's it.
That's why actually unapata mtu anasema tio mbona mimi na attract watu wenye maybe wananichapa kila siku ama why am I
I can say actually something that I've seen in my own eyes. You find someone like that, That's what they believe about themselves. If they get anything better than that, they drive it away.
Yeah.
With or without knowing. This is something I've seen with my own eyes.
Wow.
Believe you me, they drive it away.
We've been doing this. We've been
Yeah.
doing this
Our
what now,
thoughts are
but we
very,
don't
very
know.
powerful.
But we don't
We
see.
don't
we
know.
don't see. That is why accountability. Look deep down. In fact, take at least even an hour every day to introspect. What have I done right and wrong today? Yeah. You
The
you
thoughts
trust
you're
me.
carrying
Yeah.
of yourself.
I think
not
that is the
allowed.
first. That is the first ground to the outdoors of maturing and growing mentally, socially, and everything.
We didn't know about this.
So wadau na wadau det, we really hope that both of us have learned one or two things. You see? And we hope that all of us are going to improve our relationships.
Yeah, and it's not all about how should I say, dating relationships, but I think this applies
It
to
applies to
all relationships.
many of those principles apply to all relationships.
Yeah.
Whether platonic, whether romantic. Platonic means zile ambao don't
I
go
was
romantic.
about to ask. Platonic ni gani?
Easy kama
Unajua, let's say like ile friend zone zile
friend
mmeka
zone.
friend zone.
Ah,
yeah,
friend zone, friend zone.
Those are the kind of relationships hazitaenda kwa unajua ziko na kahii lakini zinafika mahali zina balance tu hivi. They plateau on the platonic level. Yeah, so hakuna kwenda juu zaidi ati kureach kwenda kwa
And by the way, we usually know these things when you do them. So saa zingine pia let's not blame at
easier said than done.
yeah,
all easier said
yeah,
than done.
it's easier said.
Easier
Yeah.
said
let us all be strong in this.
Corona
say that?
times.
Tukue wavumilivu ama
Oh,
nini?
yeah, mvumilivu hula mbivu. Karibu niseme mvumilivu hula mbichi.
Hula mbivu.
Yeah. So, hey, my
Patience is
people,
key,
oh, my
but to
people.
the door of
Oh.
success.
Hey, mkitaka another hot heated. This is Binsari Vlogs bringing to you live from Kidron Estate. Mnasemaje wadau? Shall we finish?
So yeah,
Yeah.
we finish by okay. You proceed past the close with the statement.
Okay, so guys, we really hope that you've enjoyed this session, and if you want more of this, because I know all of us want advice on life, on everything, on relationships, just comment on the inbox so that we can have another session with our visitor here, Edwin.
Yeah. So I finish by saying this. A relationship will find you doing something. It's called self-development. Now, self-development, I don't mean selfish development. I mean self-development to the highest and the fullest. You know, there's this thing, this statement I've heard people say, if you cannot like me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Well, first of all, no one was born together. Watu wakuzalia pamoja. So people will generally not take that, you know, will not tolerate your weaknesses. You know, it's a level of entitlement which is actually childish. You ought to give a person the best version of yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. That's the best gift you can give.
You don't have to
You don't
be
have
the
to
victim.
be always the victim. You know, come on, bana. You just have like. Let me repeat. Like, is it? What is his name? You just have to follow the right way. Yeah. So self-development. You're building yourself socially, intellectually, financially, in every sphere. And the pace which you move, just move at your own pace. Okay. Yeah. Move at your own pace. That's how life goes. Now, ciao.
Ciao.
See you next time.